You wanna get sad?
Go ahead, Yvonne.
I ain't gonna say.
How you just told him who it was?
I did. She said she was invited to
I've never seen anyone work the couch like that.
You acting like Rashida.
Who wanna be this couch? Who wanna be this couch?
So you guessed it, we have Miss Yvonne Orji, aka Molly, in the house.
What up, guys?
Yes, we're so excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes,
And we have a couple of questions that Jay said we have to ask.
Oh,
for
Lord.
sure.
Jay done set me up. You know what, Miss Paula? This is not going to work. This was really nice.
Really nice. Thank you for the cookie.
Why is Halloween trick-or-treat? No.
You're like, no. Okay, but before we get started, we have a ghetto Wendy Williams shoe cam.
Okay.
So we need to see your shoes. What shoes are you rocking, Miss Yvonne Orji? Yes, yes.
The
Let's
lady-
see what. Yes,
All boot fashion.
yes, yes.
I don't know who I'm wearing.
It's okay. We just have to do
You
it.
should have just named them. Yves Saint Laurent.
I was like, I think I'm wearing Marshall's finest.
Marshall.
Yes.
Not Turn J.
Right.
Most people say Marshalls, but I said Marshall.
Marshall.
It's okay. Anything will work on the ghetto cam. So.
I know, Rudy, you have an actual
Right,
foot cam.
exactly.
So why does it matter?
Why does it matter?
We're going to start at the top of the show. So I love that Jay was running. This is like fitness at its finest. I was like, yes, he's good. Why you roll your eyes, Cortez?
Oh, go ahead. No. And no, I was just loving how they had him running from the forum all the way over that
I was like,
and I was like, how do you run from all the way over there?
He was really trying to get there. He was like, I got to do this 26
I
miles.
was like, bro.
Is it awkward for you to watch your son in these?
Okay, well, she's
You
got.
know, we've talked about that before,
Yeah.
how there are times when I've seen him and I think, would he really do that? And I call him, like, because I didn't like that. So I just want to clarify that you really wouldn't do that.
Like, so this is still just acting, right? Right?
Right.
Okay, cool.
Cool. So I have called him on that before.
Okay.
Yeah, so we get it interesting. Like, we have a little bit of a shower scene happening, and Paula had something to say.
Yeah.
Yvonne,
I didn't wash
When you
my holy
unset.
eyes. I did not.
you close, take a sip of your water. Yes, sip it.
I told my husband, I said, his booty still looks the same.
Sorry, Jay. Like when you were changing diapers.
Sorry, bro.
Jay,
Sorry,
your
bro.
mama just put you on all the blast. Just know. She was checking for your birthmark and everything. She was like, yeah, it's still there.
Sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
You can't take up for him,
You
right,
know what?
Cortez?
He's going to tell me no more.
He's like, well,
That's it.
oh, yeah, I was like, you can't watch episode 8.
See, yeah, I know.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've had to walk out on those. Yeah, that's a little too much. It's a little too
Good
much.
to know something.
I ain't say nothing.
You
I
didn't
ain't
say
nothing.
anything, but we could just imagine.
Can you?
Well, you already seen it. You already seen it in the game. Remember when he was laying on the bed when she
I
walked in?
didn't see that either.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually called me and told me. That
Oh, okay.
yeah,
But he
that-
didn't tell you this episode.
No, he didn't tell me that one.
He didn't.
But he
tell-
did tell me for the game. He told me to be prepared. There was a nude scene. He said, I just want you to be prepared. But I didn't tell my mother.
I can't tell anybody my
And I got a
family.
phone call on that one.
You can't tell anybody. Let's talk
can't
about
tell.
that. Why
Yeah.
can't you tell anybody in your family?
Well, first of all, my mom can't even stomach me cursing. She can't. She can't even,
Yes.
like, why are you doing so much? That's not the
And your mother is so sweet. I had the opportunity to meet her at the
Did Jay give
premiere.
you the picture
Yes.
of the three of us?
Yes.
Okay. Of the three of you guys?
Yes.
She
yes.
is, she's
All the
most
moms got to take a
dainty.
picture together.
That's
Yeah.
so sweet.
It was really cute. But my mom was like the most daintiest, prissest, most conservative. I go to church 3 days a week. Like that's her. So yeah, this was a shock. I mean, and like Molly isn't like totally me either.
no,
So it's
not
like
you,
it's
no.
different. So she's kind of like, wait, will you curse now? I was like, I don't curse now. I curse on the show.
It's my job, Mom.
You know, like,
Did you prepare her? What did you do? How did you kind of?
is there a way to prepare her?
Nah.
Yeah, well, this is a funny story.
Let's hear it.
So, like, my roommate writes on Pitch, and Pitch is on Fox.
Pitch,
and
yeah.
it's like, it's network, so they can't do but so much. So my mom is watching Pitch, and she's like, I really like this show. It's very family friendly.
Sound just like her. Oh my god.
So she's like getting a kick out of it. Mind you, this is like the day we're getting ready for the premiere. So she's getting her makeup done. My brother turns to Power on Stars. And so, there's like sex and cursing. And so my mom was like, what is this? All this noise. This is just too much. It's too harsh. So I was I gotta tell her, because in about an hour and a half, I'm gonna be saying these same words. So I was like, but Ma, you know, there's gonna be cursing on my show too. She's like, I hope not from you.
See what had happened was.
I hit up my very Jewish manager right quick, like, Jacob, I'm gonna need for you to come through. It's about to be a problem. And so he like took my mother's hand at the premiere and sat next to her and was like, just squeeze if it's too
what a good
Yeah.
But then
good
he
man.
was like, but you just have to know, like it's not Yvonne, she's acting. I was like, are y'all in Lamar's class?
Okay.
Thank you.
So she's not ready for she's not ready for my scenes, and my scenes aren't even, as gangster as other people's scenes. So
Especially that one. No, but what did she say? What did she say about the woman you in the bathroom? You like, this nigga gave me this broken pussy.
Jesus. You called him the N-word.
Oh, see, that was it. What's funny is Melina. What's funny is, I think I said, see, me and Jesus, we have an understanding. Me and Jesus, like, we kick it. Like, I'd be like, this what we doing today? Like, that's how me and Holy Spirit talk.
Yeah.
So I think I had actually said it, and then Melina left. She was like, and then or she pitched it, and I was like, okay, cool, because I could see myself saying that, like, come on. So that wasn't like an issue. If I had felt any kind of way, I was like, I will not be disrespecting the Holy Spirit this way. But no, I was like, we're cool. He plays me all the time. I play him back.
But what did Mom say? She
didn't say anything about that. I feel like my mom was really just like trying to gauge everything. You know what I mean? It was like a lot coming at her. But now she's like in Nigeria, and I'm so scared because it's coming to cable in Nigeria on the
Oh, so she haven't even seen like each she just saw the premiere.
Well, God bless it, because my cousins are like, oh my gosh, we just saw your commercial. It's coming to DSTV on the 7th. I said, what? Oh, wait. Why? No, who sanctions it? Who licensed this? So let's just say I hope I'm still in the will by Christmas.
Wow, that's what's up.
So has your father seen? Has your father?
Like it's his time.
My dad is he's a man of very few words. So yeah, my I don't know, y'all. Just pray for me.
Wow.
Just harobishes.
You better speak in tongues. So let's talk about, since we're already talking about your family, your mom and your dad, let's talk about First Gen, and then we'll get to the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about First Gen. I know you worked with Marquita Bradley.
Yeah.
You had like a team of people. Yeah. So
and David Yellowbow is our executive producer.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's literally the story of my life. So I was working on First Gen before I booked Insecure. And so essentially I was supposed to be the doctor of my family. And then I took organic chemistry, and I was like, does Zappa be lying? And so after like deciding to myself that I didn't want to go to med school, I ended up getting my master's in public health, and so working overseas. And then of course I had to like stop being a punk and be like, hey Mom, I'm gonna ruin all your dreams for me, but thank you so much for bringing me to America. Thank you for being selfless, but I'm gonna be a little selfish. And then I entered a pageant in like 2006, and then that's when I did comedy for the first time as like my talent. And then I remember the first time I got paid, I was like, oh, I'm never going to med school now. So I just got like $300 for a 3-minute set. Like, who else is doing this? And then I moved to New York and really like started the hustle and moved out here. So First Gen is like, it really talks about like the immigrant expectations put on children of immigrants when it comes to America. So you're like always battling this duality of like, we have access to more dreams and the freedom of life in America, but we're still kind of like constrained to the expectations of our parents.
Now you're the only daughter, right?
I'm the only daughter. I have 3 older brothers.
So are you the only one here?
No, we're all here.
You're all.
But one of my brothers moved back, so it was like the good son. He was like, Daddy wants me to go to Nigeria. So I was like, really? Of course, when he moved, my father was like, well, so you can all move. No, that's not my definition. I didn't ask this. So yeah, so there's three brothers and then me.
Okay.
And all single, no grandkids, no husbands, no wives. So my mom is terrific.
Wow.
So I know in one of your, I think it's the pilot episode, you talked about your mom trying to marry you off with the posters. Does she do that to your brothers too?
I think she allows them to date, but she definitely, like, my brother broke up with, like, his longtime girlfriend, and my mom was like, well, there goes the wedding I was planning. I was like, but there was no engagement.
Is that right? Exactly.
How are you planning the wedding? I'm so confused. So no, she just, like, lies in wait. She's just really...
So does she get attach herself to your brother's girlfriends? Like, is she?
Absolutely.
Yeah, does she? See, I keep this wall up.
I said, like, I think that's good.
Until he tells me that's the one, I'm not interested.
And that's how I am with all of them. Like, the last girlfriend I did kind of get
It
attached.
sounds harsh, doesn't it?
I said,
don't
oh
mean it
wow.
to.
I mean, that's.
I don't mean it to be harsh. I don't mean it in a bad way,
But
but
still be nice, but
yeah,
attached. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's hard to invest energy and then you know what I mean.
Yeah.
and if it's not the right person, you're like, oh.
Right, and
then
I'm
you
kind of
comes.
hard to get to know anyway, like because I kind of keep it close to the chest. So I just kind of feel like when he tells me he's ready and that's the one, and when he brings them around, then I know, because he'll date for a while before he brings anyone home. So when he brings them around, then he's telling us that
And I think
you better let your wall down.
That's the vetting process.
Yes.
Like, he's doing the vetting process
Yes.
because he knows y'all. So
Yes.
when you come, it's like, see, my brother's like,
He's trying to get him warmed up. Lord, my parents are going to embarrass me. So I'm trying to get you, make sure you're really in this with me, right?
Yeah, like my brothers are different. Like they'll bring a girl home, like date 3, and I'm like, what that conveys? Like she thinks she's the one.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
why? And
Don't
he's
do
like,
that.
we're just super chill.
Yeah.
We just have to stop over before we get to the You have no context.
She's really cool. She's really cool.
Really good. And meanwhile, she's like, he gonna marry me, girl. I said, the whole family.
And she's trying to be your friend,
Yeah.
you the sister.
And the whole time I'm like, girl, you're not gonna be here next week. I'm like, so I put up the wall because I'm like, until like she's around for like another like 5 months, I'm like, oh, you might be somebody. Hey, what's your name again? Okay, cool.
And when she see you out, she went, hey, you gonna be like, hey.
My favorite part of that, like the whole thing, is when she dances off camera.
Off camera, yeah.
Like the beat was so good.
That was so funny
She
to
was
me.
good with that.
That's
Yo.
one of our favorite scenes. Now let's get to Molly, because I was watching on Twitter.
You
and
were
so
watching on
yes, and because you guys were live tweeting on the show, and so people kind of like they're not really feeling Molly too much because.
When?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Oh, last episode, they came from Molly.
Oh,
They
yeah,
came
that's
from
episode.
here.
Yeah.
Nobody sent for them, but they
Yeah.
came.
I remember, yeah.
Because
Yes.
they really wanted the Enterprise guy.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah.
I wanted
Would you
Jared.
date the Enterprise guy?
And see, that
Yes.
was the question that Jay said. Make
Yes.
sure you ask
Molly.
Yvonne
Yes.
/ Molly.
I was
Because
like-
on that scene, because
Yeah, he was happy to throw you under the bus. So
Oh
just-
yeah, no,
Yeah.
me and Jay have had conversations since. Jay's trying to get me married. He my mother promised him a goat or some house. He's trying to get that chieftaincy title or that goat.
Hysterical.
But
It's funny because sitting here looking at you now, like when that scene, when he said that, the way you looked at him, I didn't see Molly. I saw you. He was like,
wait,
Yeah.
when I said
when he said he didn't go to college.
Did you really see Yvonne?
That was Yvonne. That was
Have you
Yvonne.
met me?
Hey,
How you know?
I saw you in the street, girl. I saw
That was just really good acting. No, I think that was Molly processing.
Yeah, oh, she was processing it all right.
Because I think in her
But
mind,
it didn't stop her from kissing him.
right? Because
Yes.
here's the thing, she was trying to figure out. She was trying to figure out how she felt, and at the same time how she felt about how her friends felt.
Right.
So Molly by herself could maybe be like,
Cool.
maybe let me give you this shot.
I thought she was heavily influenced by the friend's
Oh,
response.
definitely.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because there's some bougie friends,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I don't want to be judged harshly, and also it's like, well, my friends could be right, like they could want me to be with somebody more educated and high class and more esteemed because I'm that chick. So
Right.
yes,
But you see how it changed though, because after he said that, and then he said something, you kind of was like, he said a joke.
oh yeah, so
Something about my coat hanger.
No, so
All the girls.
he said, because I said when dudes get a college degree, they act like everybody should be grateful for the opportunity and stuff there.
Yeah.
And so when he says, I don't feel like I missed out
Yeah.
from anything in college except for the opportunity.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, he's funny, you know. And I think why a lot of people were so sad with Jared, especially when they see how Molly messed up in episode 4 with Dr. Bay, is that Jared just allowed her to be herself.
Right.
Like Molly got
wasn't
some
threatened
issues.
by her. He you saw him genuinely caring for her, loved who she was.
The burrito on her face, and he didn't care.
Didn't care.
Yeah.
Didn't
But
care.
some would argue like, he has to be that dude. Because how he gonna check her without no college degree?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Some people would argue that like, he has to not overcompensate, but he has to be that dude to be super facilitating because she's the chick that will run it. If
But
not,
so
not.
in
I agree.
personal life with my boy Jay now trying to get you married. To me,
I
here's
don't
my
appreciate
thing.
what's happening right
Here's
now.
Here's my thing. Like,
Cortez is co-signing.
I did not go to college,
Okay.
but I feel like in 2016, I don't want to bite my lip when I say this, bite my tongue when I say this, but I feel like these days education is great. It is amazing to have. But if you have the hunger and the eager and the passionate, and you have something that you're passionate about, and you're actually going out there and working towards it, that's a difference. And if you have that heart, that's a difference. And to me, Jared has that.
Jared work at Enterprise.
So he worked at Enterprise because he said.
Did he say he was trying to own franchises?
But
That didn't come out.
But you know,
If he was an entrepreneur and didn't go to college and was successful.
Because here's the thing, Mark Zuckerberg dropped out.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So, like, if I brought home... Well,
But
no,
you
So
Well,
it's
you
not,
went with me
so
long
it's not the
enough, right?
degree, it's the level of success.
It's a level of success. So, like, it's like he ain't got no degree and he work at Enterprise. Like, if he didn't have a degree and my man was like, yo, I own 3 Chick-fil-A's, it's like, well, go turn up. You know, like, there's a difference. But it's like, you start. It's like, I don't... What are we doing?
So how do you regulate the heart? The heart wants what the heart wants. So if you
Are you talking Molly? Are we talking about Molly?
Yvonne.
We're talking about
let's just put Yvonne on the hot seat. I want
She said, "What kind of couch is this?"
On the hot seat.
She said, "Did I sit on the wrong couch? I don't like this leather couch."
Go ahead, take a sip. We'll wait. Go ahead.
Oh, but that's funny.
I honestly don't appreciate what's happening here.
Jay did that to you.
We
Shout out
love
to Jay.
you. We love you.
Where's my phone?
There's nothing but love in this room.
I'm about to text and be like, ninja. And not in those words.
I know, right?
What was the question?
you asked him. No,
I asked it. I said, how do you regulate the heart?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's all about kind of taking time to like really assess character. Like, there was one dude that, I was introduced to, and I was just like, he don't sound like he read. He don't sound like he read books. He don't sound like, you know what I'm saying? I can't.
Yeah.
Like, you can hear that. And I'm just like,
funny.
again, my
That's
parents
funny.
are African. Like, they left their country to bring us here. They put me through boarding school and 2 different degrees. So it's like, what? Like, if you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I know I'm not getting married for them, but at the same time, I know that they
feel
have an
that.
expectation, and as do I. And again, but to your point, absolutely, just because you have a college degree, I know a lot of dumb college dudes.
Yeah.
I know a lot of college dudes
That's true.
that I'd be like, kill yourself.
Right.
I'm not dating you.
Yeah.
Like,
And they got bad credit.
just because Sally may not come in for your coin,
Wow.
right?
pretty much, yes.
But then I know another dude
that's
who,
funny.
I like asking this question to every dude that I go on a date with. I say, if like there were no, if there were no limits, like money wasn't an option, like what would you do? Like, what's your path? Like,
That's
what's
a
that
great
one
question.
thing? Because for me, like that assesses your passion level,
Kind of
your
initiative.
drive,
You're looking for
your-
the initiative
Wow.
to drive.
like, what's that?
Yeah, that's
And I
fair.
remember this dude was just like, I will coach Little League basketball. And I was like,
Check,
you
please.
can do that on Saturday, like right now. Like,
Right,
why
yeah.
aren't you? And then he was like, oh, there's no money. I was like, but then why don't you just like, I don't know, volunteer and see what happens?
Yeah.
And I just was like, you can cover up a lot of stuff. If a dude's not attractive, you can make him look cute. Just get some good clothes. You can't cover up like
You
can't fix
black
stupid.
You can't cover up lack of
can't.
initiative,
You
lack
can't.
of drive. It's just like I'm
Right.
gonna get one day be real frustrated. Like, so you still not gonna do nothing? You still not gonna do nothing? like where did this come from?
Like
where
Issa.
did it?
Like Issa,
What if
yeah.
he has a business plan for
Yeah,
that?
I got a plan. Do do the business. Yeah, like,
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
So, you
And
know what I'm
I
saying?
didn't
So-
raise him that way, just so y'all know.
She has been said in every show. I didn't raise
pretty
him.
much. I didn't
Oh,
raise
no, no, I know Jay personally. Jay is. I'm almost like, Jay, you African? Jay, like, I got another business here. I got, I'm flipping this house. I'm like, so you just don't want to be an actor? You just want to have 18 different things in the pot? Cool. No, you did not raise him that way. But yeah, so for me, as Yvonne, you know, I like a person who's nice, who's caring, who has drive, and who can respect my strength, but also has strength in himself.
Right. So it's not about a piece of paper for you.
No, it's what that paper represents. Because somebody told me when I got my master's, they were like, your master's doesn't mean that you're intelligent. It just means that you have the capacity to go maybe like a step beyond other people, like what it says about you character. And I was like, I wish I would have told me that before.
Exactly.
I probably wouldn't have done it, but
Spent all that money.
So but it's just like what it represents to you, and like there are people who have. You know, there are people who have that drive and initiative without the paper, but then it's like, okay, what else do you have? Because
I know a lot of people that have masters and they have absolutely no initiative, no drive. They're still sitting in the same place they were when they started that process, and that's just like mind-boggling to me. I know when I got mine, I spent a lot of time and hard work, and I was going to make it pay off, right? Yeah. That's the whole point of
going
getting
to master,
it.
to get one completed, And I think, what were you going to say, Oriana?
I was just going to say there is the argument that people who don't have the drive and initiative stay in academia because they don't have to.
Yeah, because I know
because then they don't
students.
ever have to take a risk. It's like this is the next step. This is the next step. It's scary to go out into the world and to really like have the drive and initiative to do something that's not just research in the guarded area of like academia.
Yeah, and I think because again, Jay and I always have this conversation. Like I think that men of past, like they were taught like different things. They were taught how to be shippers. They were taught how to like woo a woman. Like, because he was asking, he was like, who teaches the guys today how to talk to a girl?
And I try to with my friends. I really do, because my parents, my father is very militant, and he taught me a lot about that. So I still to this day, my friends, even if we're dating or not, I'll open your door.
Yeah.
I do all that. It's just me. I still
You're
do
a
those things.
gentleman.
And my friends, like, I see them catching on. They be like, "Oh, Cortez do it," because at first they'll make fun. They'll be like, "Oh, you trying to get that?" I'm like, no, like,
No,
for
why
real.
does that equate? Why can't you just be a good human? Why
Yeah.
don't you just like open up a door? But like, I don't know if it's rap music or just like I don't know what it is that like the fact that you would see a guy being a gentleman and be like, "Oh, you trying to smash?"
Yeah.
No, I'm actually just opening the
just
door for
opening
like
the-
that's all it means.
But the problem is with me is that the women these days actually see it that way. I was at the I was in off of Melrose and in valet waiting for my car, but this girl car came up and she was in a Porsche, and she had on heels. And I like the fact. To me, I look at small things. I like the fact she didn't take her heels off to drive a Porsche. It was like the fast one that you have to like really shift. So I was talking to my friend, but as I was talking to my friend, I was walking behind her, and she kind of saw me, but she didn't see me. So I literally just opened the door, but I was still talking to my friend, and she was like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
Get in the car. And she was like, "Oh my God." And she let the window down and was like,
Thank you.
I don't even know what to say. She didn't know what to say. She didn't even say
Right.
thank you. She was just like,
it's the cycle of abuse. When you have been battered emotionally in relationships for so long.
And when you date online too, I think that is.
Come on, the
part of
league.
The league. Let's talk about the league.
Do you know I tried to download the league like after that episode?
I did too.
And I was
I did
like,
too.
the devil is a lie. I don't need this.
I did too.
Well, because a friend of mine did it. She was like, let's do it together. And because I'm not like in LinkedIn or something like that, they wouldn't let me go. I was like, see, that's Holy Spirit. I was like, girl, you in this by yourself. I was like, I'm so sorry.
So we had Ben Corey Jones, and Sujata Hill.
Yeah, Ben is in the league.
Yeah. So
You bougie, Ben.
We appreciate it though. I definitely appreciate it.
exactly. But I really wanted to know what was the process of like when you got onto this project. Like how did, because we like Ben told us like she just texted him, hey, you want to write on this show? You know what I'm saying? So how did you become Molly?
Oh well, like I said, I was legitimately preparing to like throw in the towel, leave, and go back to
Yeah, I
Lower
heard
Maryland,
that,
and be like,
yeah.
"This is where dreams come to die."
Really? Wow.
Oh yeah, I like it got because I moved here in 2000. I came in for an internship in 2011.
Okay.
I moved here in 2012 officially, and you come with like that new opportunity. You're like, I'm gonna maximize opportunities. I'm out here in these streets. I'm a hustler by nature. Like I don't know how to sit. I don't know how to be Lawrence. I don't know. Like we gonna make something happen, and for and not just for make something happen sake, but like I'm gonna be very strategic and targeted. I'm gonna do my part. So if nothing happens, it's not for lack of trying. It's like, well, somebody made a mistake. And so like around 2013, 14, like I got like really good opportunities, but then like the end of 2013, beginning of 2014, there were like 3 opportunities back to back that just kind of like fell, like crippled me. And it was like the first one, you're like, all right, cool, dust the shoulders off. Try again. Oh, okay. The third one, you're like, I'm gonna just stay down. I'm gonna just stay down because I done got back up.
Yeah.
And so I found myself. It was like October of 2014. And I was like, this is it. I'm crying on Sunset Boulevard. I was like, I'm going home. I was like, God, you failed. Your track record sucks right now. and he was like, nah, what's in your hand? And I was like, these questions you asked that are rhetorical. I don't have anything in my hand. That's why I'm crying. And I went to sleep. I woke up the next day and I read like the most obscure verse in the Bible. It was like Psalms 31:15, and it was like, I will yet trust you because my time is in your hands. And I was like, okay. And I literally told guys that you got one more shot. Like that's why I could talk to him. Like I was like, you got one more shot, Jesus. Like between me and you. And I remembered that I had this project, First Gen, that I was like working on. So I was like, all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. So I started writing it. Then I said, you know what, we're gonna have to shoot it because no one's really heard African voices, like without making them a caricature. So I want them to be like the neighbors next door. Right. And so then we were working on shooting it. So this is now like December, January of 2015, Issa randomly hits me up, and Issa and I had known each other like through the comedy world. Like I would host events, I would perform, and she and her friends would come see. So we had like mutual girl, you doing it, girl, you doing it. Let's do it together.
I like that.
And so she hit me up via email and was like, hey, it's not out yet. HBO is going forward with my show. I think you would really be great for the role of Molly. Just, look out for that. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you for even considering me. But again, this was January. In my mind, I'm thinking okay, it's going to happen in 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks. So I'm like,
I always do that. Yo, when someone tell me something, I'll be like, yo, this is going to happen right now.
It's going to happen right now. But the next thing I heard about Insecure was in July.
Wow.
7 whole months on my Tony Braxton tip. It was such a long time. Yeah. And in the process, we done shot First Gen. We released it. We were pitching. So legitimately,
That's great.
It was oh, okay, I was doing my home thing, and then, I see the breakdown. I was like, Issa, is this the same thing you were talking about? She was like, yeah, I didn't think you were still interested. I said, I'm like, yeah. She was just like, because you're doing your own show. I was like, I am.
Yeah.
However, ain't nobody come me a check. This is y'all got a script you about to produce. So, I auditioned 5 times. It was... It was crazy, and each time because I've been doing comedy for 10 years, and I'd say comedy is my gateway drug, and I always wanted to act, but it was no one was giving me an opportunity. And that moment where you think I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And then you get the opportunity to do it. It's I hope I can do this.
Me too.
I don't know, because people went to school for this. So I didn't have a formal training as an actress, but comedy's in my stage, and I would watch TV and just be like, I don't believe that actress. Why don't I believe that actress? And then try to learn from what you're watching. It was a different kind of a class for me. So after every audition, I would just text her I don't want you to feel obligated. Listen, if it was not me, it's cool. I appreciate the opportunity. She'd be like, what are you talking about? I was like, because you know what I'm saying? If it's not me, it's cool. And she was like, no, you're fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. I was like, because that's all I know to do. I hope that's enough. And I remember the test. Our chemistry read was the 4th audition. And I remember walking out of the chemistry read yo, if it's not me, I don't know what they want. Like, cause I'd
Yeah.
given it like it was not because it was like
Everything.
Issa was right there. We're like chemistry reading, and like we had good chemistry because we're both like real silly and just laughing for no reason, and just even the scene because one of the scenes was like the fight scene, and it was just we were just vibing. So the fourth audition, I was like, yo, son, I think they love me. I love it, and we're so close. I left the HBO test. Like, it's all right. Like, you know, we got this far, and you know, like I left crying because I was like, I didn't make it.
Right.
Like, because it was like it was three of us. It was like a dark auditorium. It's a whole bunch of people in suits.
Just looking at
Just
you.
looking at
Right.
you. Nobody's giving you
No
any
feedback.
energy. I think at one point I heard Prentice and Melina give me like a pity laugh. Like, I was just like, oh, y'all are sweet. Cool. And I remember telling myself, I said, Yvonne, pretend like you're on a comedy set right now and you're bombing, but we finish. We finish our set. We finish
That's
strong.
good.
And like I literally like tuned them out and I was like, I'm gonna give you these lines. Like I've been giving them because that's all I know how to do.
Awesome.
And y'all want to hear the story about how I found out?
Yes, let's hear it.
So after I cried, like I'm in my car, like 15 minutes goes by, and I remember the friend of mine works at HBO, so I was like, oh, I should probably tell her.
Shannon.
Yes, Shannon.
Okay.
I was gonna put her on front street. Shannon Chambers, Bashir's wife. Like,
Madison is wearing
Shannon. I was like, oh, sorry about that.
Okay.
If HBO's watching.
All right, you want to change the story of how you found
Okay,
out?
let's go back. Rewind.
So yes, a friend of mine works at HBO, so I was like, oh, let me go back up there and just say hi, even though I'm like crying or whatever. But as I was in my car crying, like I heard Holy Spirit say, you don't even know what I'm doing behind the scenes, and I think that like comforted me to just be like, okay, well if it's not this, that's fine because it'll be something else. Like it was just like that piece of like whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. Like if it's this, cool. If it's first gen, cool. Like we gonna make it. We're not the same place where we were, but you know that moment where you're like I want it. Like, I'm so close. Like
Especially after all of that.
after all that, because it was
It's like
July
Years, yeah,
7th
7 months.
to August 25th or 22nd. So it was like a month and a half. So I go back upstairs, and at this point, like, because I had spent so much time in my car, like the auditions were over. So if you go to HBO, it's like it's a clear glass. So all the people from the auditorium were in the lobby, and I was like, oh, why? This is. And I have on a cobalt blue dress and a blonde straight wig, like
So
you
they
gonna
gonna
see
see
me.
you.
So I look at the guard who sits outside. I was like, sir, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna hide behind you. No, don't worry. I'm not trying to. I'm just gonna hide behind you.
Did you really? You really?
These are facts. Like I'm not even. I can't even make this up. So I'm like, yo, Shannon, where you at? Like, please come downstairs. Like, it's a bad look. So Issa and Prentice come out, and Issa's like, hey, girl. I was like, what? Hey. And she was like, are you still here? I was like, I'm not lurking. I'm waiting for someone. She was like, for Shannon? I was like, yeah. She was like, oh, she just went back upstairs. I was like, wait, what? And so I'm like, why did she go back upstairs? So then Issa was like, all right, girl, well, have a good weekend, because it was a Friday. So I was like, I ain't get it. Because I was like, Issa didn't wink. Issa didn't do nothing. She was just like, all
You're
right, well,
supposed to give me an up.
give me the like.
She was supposed to like tweak her eyes.
She was like, all right, well, have a good weekend. Bye. And then the elevator door closed. I was like, but then I'm like, now it's awkward for her because like if I didn't get it, she got to see me like.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, keep it cool. So then I see Melina and another one of the executive producers coming out. I don't even turn around. I'm still facing the wall behind the guard right now. I'm like, nope, they're not gonna ask me no questions. And then finally, the casting director, Vicky Thomas, and her two assistants come out, and Vicky was like, Yvonne, you still here? Vicky. I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm not lurking. I'm waiting for them. So they're waiting for the They're waiting for the elevator, and I see her assistant like lean over in her ear and say something, and then Vicky turns around and says, "Okay, well, have a good weekend, Yvonne." I said, "Oh, thank you, Vicky." Then the elevator doors open. She's walking, and she turns around. And she's like, "'Cause you booked." And I was like, And then like I pick up the assistant and I proceed to like twirl her around. Like, she's not a real human being because she was like 4'5". So I'm like, I'm so sorry, Hannah. I apologize. And I was like, what? And Vicky was like, yeah, you worked hard. You deserved it. And like that was it. Like Vicky, if you ever meet Vicky, like this is how she tells you you're funny. The first audition, she was like, you're good. You're really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I was like, Vicky, most people laugh.
Yeah.
Right.
Most people give you like emotion.
Yeah.
Like, do
You know what?
that?
I would have tested Issa. I'm like, Issa, oh, so that's how you really feel? That's how you gonna do me?
Yeah.
Like, that's how you gonna do me?
Wow.
That's messed
That's
up.
awesome.
But that's how I found out. And I was just like, and then like Shannon came down and we had a cry together. Because the thing is, like, Shannon knew me when I first moved to New York. And she worked at NBC at the time. And I did the NBC Center for Diversity. So she seen me like as this new Yorker trying to do comedy. And then like now, like, book an HBO show as a series regular. So that was like a beautiful moment that we could share. And then she was just like, of course I couldn't come down. Like, I work here. I was like, well, then why
Well,
did
you should
say
tell
that?
me. Shout out to HBO. Let's get into this episode. Let's
Right, I
take it
know.
into
I
the
feel like
episode.
let's get back to the episode.
Let's get back to the episode.
I want to talk about the date that you went on with Dr. Bay, because I feel like you didn't know that he was trying to give you a signal about you being a little too dominant. Because you said, well, it's the small things. It was the small things. I was like, uh-oh, she doesn't realize that.
That's part of Molly's problems. Molly mistakes. I hashtag Molly,
Molly
mistakes.
mistakes. M&M's.
So I have a question to everyone because when I felt he was genuine when he was like, I'm glad this wasn't a one and done.
Oh,
Like,
he was very
I
genuine
did.
at that point.
Really
really
was.
was. You know, but the
Yeah.
fact that she went nitpicking,
Yeah.
like obviously a big turnoff, but did he, I mean, I just feel like she's clearly not getting it. What could he have done?
No, he couldn't have done anything because at that point he was like, oh, this is who she is.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
he checked
Saw
out.
that.
He
Right.
did what he was supposed to do. He was
Right.
like, okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you
Right.
saw how he was holding that glass. He was like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Like,
But
yeah.
should he have explained himself in a text?
No.
No.
It's
No.
too early. It was
No.
only their third
Their
date.
third date, yeah.
And I have a joke where I say, every date, like either the guy or the girl has the we not gonna make it.
yeah.
Right.
Most
That
definitely.
was that was his we not gonna make it.
And that's not a joke.
Right.
That's for real.
But because because he said it the first time, like, oh man, I was really busy. Like you were like, oh okay, well
Yes.
I'm glad you got rest. Like
Yes.
that's how that should have ended.
Yeah.
But
And
she
you
was
just kept going in. Molly kept going in.
Molly just kept going for, and it was just like,
And then
oh.
even just to settle under the breath, she was
Yes.
not gonna let that
She
go.
wasn't going to let it go.
Because then it's not just her saying this is what I expect. Like it's beyond this is what I expect. It's like it's not a bad thing for you to expect a
Right.
call back or whatever, but it's like when you expect things and
To make sure
And
that
to
someone
expect
gets
it on the third
home
date.
safe on the, yeah.
No. On the first date, tell me, like, if I say, hey, text me, like, I hate when people, dislike when people say, well, I'll call you when I get home, I'll let you know I made it home,
And they
or
don't.
whatever. And they don't. That really bothers
are you
me.
from down south?
Yeah, that's a southern thing.
You're a southern,
Yeah,
aren't you?
that's a
I
southern
lived in
thing.
Atlanta for like six
Yeah.
I feel the
years.
same way, but we don't know if they made a promise.
But see, don't know. But
No, it wasn't a
because
promise.
when Molly said, well, I just want to know if you made it home safe, like, I was like, yeah, that's
That
genuine.
could be cute,
But did she really?
She did.
Yeah.
But also, it could have been both
Yeah,
ways.
I
It
was
could have
gonna
been
say.
it could have been a genuine, but it
Yeah.
could have also been he could have proceeded like you keeping tabs.
Right.
Right.
What if
That's
I
right.
left you to go
Yes.
somewhere else?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
don't worry about
Right.
it.
Yes.
So like guys don't know how to process that because it's so
Yep.
early. But I think she genuinely was. That's the
I
thing.
think she
Like
was.
Molly does things because it's all she knows to do.
But one of the great things that I love about Molly is even though, right, this is always the challenge, we can't see the forest for the trees. She can't see her own life, but I
Yes.
love the way she checks Issa.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yes.
what are you doing, right? She sees what Issa is about to, she's venturing down this path and she can't figure out where she's going or why she wants to do it.
Achilles
and then
dick.
she has, she has this great guy on the side, and all relationships have,
Yeah.
bumps in them. If you're in one that's genuine, is going to last, you're going to hit some tough spots and you got to figure out how to get through it.
I think Molly is just like, yo, I'm out here in these streets. You don't want this
You don't
life.
want this, yes.
You don't want, like,
Right.
hold on to what you got and make it amazing.
Figure it out, right.
Like, figure this, like, don't sabotage. Like, I feel like if Molly was in a dead-end relationship, she would still be like, but you know what, girl, I could change him. You know what? Let me just learn to cook. Or, girlie, like, she would be that chick probably still in the now, maybe equally as unhappy as Issa, but I got a man. And, we're going to work it out.
Right.
She's like a hopeful romantic in that way.
Yeah.
So for her, it's just about catching the guy. And I think that's why a lot of people, again, were really upset with the whole Jared thing, because Jared said, like, I like it when you take control. Like, I like that about you. Yeah. So that
he came across as a good guy just anyway,
did,
right?
yeah.
Just kind of a very good and confident in who he was.
Like he made, because there's some guys who wouldn't have gone to college or who do work at Enterprise and would be around the circle. At me? I
don't work at Enterprise.
Why are you so sensitive? Why are you so sensitive?
Because I've been trying to date ladies. It's
all
hard.
up here. He's wearing it
It's
all.
hard.
Yelling at me?
It's hard.
Man.
You know, I'm just kidding. It's hard out here for a woman, especially in LA.
But no, but there would be those guys, because even me and Jay talk about this all the time. Like, the biggest thing I don't like is when either someone says you're too picky, or they say, guys are just intimidated. Well, you know what? Grow a backbone.
Yes.
Because I just, who are these weak-willed dudes that they are creating? Like, what happened?
The pretty boys. That's who it is.
It's all of them.
No, I don't think it's pretty boys. I also think it's men who don't want to date what they see their mothers to be. Like, they don't want to date the woman that's going to tell them what to do. And then some guys do want to date the woman that's more controlling and going to be like their mothers.
That's this. Well, we can ask Paula this. I was going to say this because we can ask Paula this, because this is 30 years in the making right here.
Excuse me.
35.
It's 35.
See, after you
Give her all her years.
Right.
Give her all her years. But I just because again, I don't know if Jay talked about this on the last show, but he was like saying how there was a report done, and a woman's biggest fear is like getting killed by a guy, and then a guy's biggest fear is getting laughed at by a woman. And I'm like,
getting laughed at.
Yes.
So we over here trying not to get strangled in our sleep. Yes. And y'all just don't know how to handle just a chuckle. A chuckle.
Yeah.
What was he reading?
That's interesting.
Oh yeah, so like we literally had this conversation, and I was like, so let me get this straight. This is who we're supposed to be like waiting for.
Wow.
The dude who can't take being chuckled at, like his whole thing. So like when you're battling that, because I really was like, guys are always afraid of the put down, so they're like, well, we're just not gonna approach somebody, and then girls are like, guys don't talk to me. Guys don't like come up to me.
They don't try.
And I'm just like, y'all get put down because y'all go to the model chicks who look like this all night. And something in your mind says, I got shots.
Yep.
And then you feel real salty when she was like,
who are you? Right.
We not gonna make it.
Right.
But the girl, like the rest of us normal people, not to say that bottles aren't normal, but I'm just saying the rest of us who are just like, hi, oh yeah, I love your sweater, it's really pretty.
You're right.
Are you from LA originally?
Right.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to talk to me? Okay. And so it's like, we're the ones giving you the open invitation to at least try.
Right.
But that's too much.
Okay.
Right.
I really wanted us to also talk about the Rashida situation.
That's what we were getting ready to talk about.
Because am I the one that didn't feel bad when she was walking by and Rashida was like, and I was like,
in the conference room?
Yeah, I was like,
she walked by and I was like, but I think you
Molly
tried.
Molly walked by and was like,
I tried.
But I would have been walked by like.
So does Molly feel, so does Molly feel the pressure of they might be the only two people of color in the firm?
Absolutely. I mean, that was part of
because that's how I felt Molly felt when she was walking by.
I love the way how she handled it though.
Yeah.
How she went in and told her.
I mean, in episode 3, that the fact that like as the only person of color in this firm, she's curated the expectation of how they can handle a person of color.
Right.
And when you are the only woman, only guy, only person of color, whatever, you set the tone.
Yep.
You're like, okay.
That's right.
So the next person's like, more of that, please. More of that, please. And so when somebody who deviates from that tone, it's just like, this is different. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad different.
Right.
It's just different.
Right.
And so people need to figure out how to process that. But Rashida was so comfortable in herself and in her skin in a way that probably Molly isn't. Or Molly just knew like, this is a game that we're in.
Right.
And you got to learn to play the game. Like you can't play football
There's
with
two
soccer
sets of rules. There's two sets of rules, no doubt about it.
And so, and I think that when she did it on her own, it was like okay, I'm trying to protect my brand, but I'm also trying to protect you.
Yeah.
So, and when Rashida was bucked back, she was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was who I am at my interview. I was getting my,
exactly.
and I was just like,
Right.
So I think in this episode, when the boss comes to talk to Molly, it's like, It was cool when I wanted to do it on my
Mm-hmm.
own.
Yeah.
But now that you expect me to be able to do this, because
Well, it shouldn't, because then it sets this whole tone of.
Because what's the next one?
You interviewed her. You know what she's like. You interviewed her. You brought her in here, and I love your. I think you said what? I'm not the Molly. What did you say?
I'm not the house Molly.
I'm not the house Molly. Yeah, I love that.
Here
I
to
love
tell all
that.
the other. What do I say? All the other. Well, that's the thing they done wrong or something like that. So
Yeah.
What Jocelyn Hernandez says, Molly Maid.
Molly the maid, yes. You gotta say it with that one. That's exactly, yes.
I love all the nicknames, because like Tasha is now Tasha the Teller.
Tasha the Teller, yes.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to get on Tasha.
We didn't talk about Tasha.
I know, but I was going to say that about the whole mother thing when you were saying, like, you know, until he comes to you and say, that's the one.
Yeah.
Because I was watching Love and Hip Hop for the first time. And the
Don't
whole
tell
lyrica.
nobody
Why do you have to like
Right.
for the first time?
Because that was a lie.
Yeah.
The lyrica,
Right.
the lyrical situation with her mom and A1 is like how they're like fighting. The moms are fighting situations, and because they don't want their kids to marry each other. Like that's the whole big thing. I was like, well, I hope that's not what's gonna happen with you and you know all that situation.
You mean?
Is that what you were saying? You were just saying like, hey, until he comes to me and say, Mom, this is the one, then that's the one.
Yeah, I mean, like when he's dating, you know, we've gone on vacation with him and someone that he's dating before, but like until you tell me that's the one, I'm kind of a guarded person anyway. So I'm slow to get to know you because I invest in people. I invest for the long term. And so, you know, sometimes I feel like also I don't want to overstep boundaries. I respect, or his dad and I do not get into his personal business. We respect those boundaries. And so I think, I feel like we have a good relationship because of that, because he will come and talk to us about certain things because he knows we're going to be extremely honest and we're not going to overstep those boundaries. So I know the signs with him, obviously, long enough now, right? That when there's someone that he is interested in, you know, or because he could be dating and I might never ever meet them, but when he takes the time, you know, to slowly start to bring them around the family, I know that that's my signal that I've got to start to warm up. And how I feel about the person, to me, if Jay tells me that he cares about somebody and loves somebody, I'm looking at how they treat him. How they treat him, and one day how they may be treating my
There's
grandkids.
some actors out there. There's some actors out there.
Exactly. Yes. So like, yes.
So,
Yes.
Hey, Yvonne, we want to know. We want to know where we could find you on all your social media handles. Where can we find you?
At Yvonne Orji, YVONNEORJI. Get your mind out there.
And when is First Gen coming out? And Rock Your Stance. You didn't
Rock
get
Your
your
Stance. Yeah, Rock Your Stance. www.rockyourstance.com. What else is going on? FirstGenShow.com. When is First Gen coming out? Girl, I don't know.
We'll be watching
You
for
don't want to
it.
pay me for that yet either. So,
It's coming.
it's coming. Like
Yeah.
I'm so excited because even like when I do like the press and stuff for the show, that like people
They're talking about
that's
it.
how some people found out about me, because like I said, it had already gone out before Insecure, so they were like, oh man, so does this mean we're not gonna get that now that you're on this other thing?
Do we have time to do the video we did?
We don't, because they're telling us to wrap. So, Yvonne, we actually reenacted your scene, so I'm going to put it up on our Instagram, YouTube page. So
we've
you
been
could,
recreating.
I know.
We created it.
Yeah.
We did the bathroom scene.
We're trying to stand up. Let's
there
play
it
it. Let's
is.
see.
I
Here
think
we
they're
go.
playing.
He's gonna play it for us.
Play it. Okay.
Real quick.
Wait, hold on.
Why you like Tina Turner though?
Black boy. Others up with equipment.
And they don't even have to be that cute. I mean, I'm not trying to be shitty, but why does she deserve to get married and I don't?
You don't deserve to be married.
Jesus, apparently.
Promise Jesus isn't conspiring against me.
The tissue. You see the tissue?
You need to go out.
Love it.
Thanks to Miss Paula Bryan Ellis. She edited it there. We were like really trying to figure it out. So
Yo, I
tried.
Please tell me that, because I will put that on all the interwebs.
But why you look like Tina Turner from?
Was that that frantic?
No.
it felt frantic to me because that's real life for me.
She was like,
Man, we gotta get you. Are you dating somebody?
No, we're going to talk after this. So, yeah. So, One Mad Chase, you can find me on YouTube at One Mad Chase, on Instagram, Madison Chase Fitness, on Twitter, Madison Chase Fit, and my co-host, let them know where they can
I
find
am
you.
Paula Bryant Ellis, and you can reach me on Twitter and Instagram, P Bryant Ellis.
Nice. And you can reach me on all social media handles as Cortez G West.
And I'm Oriana Leo. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Oriana Leo or Instagram Oriana Leo. I'm also hosting the Divorce Aftershow if you're into any of the other HBO shows.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yvonne, I'm so glad you came.
Yay, we're so happy to have
Molly
you.
and Yvonne are
Thank
just
you.
like,
They're two different people.
Completely. So,
Thank you.
episode 5, we'll get back to episode 4 because this was all about Yvonne
awesome.
Orji and Miss Molly on
I
HBO
had
Insecure.
fun.
Yeah, we had a ton of fun. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, guys. This was
Thank
fun.
you.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
We got
Bye-bye.
some pictures.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.